Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Imagine waking up one day to find your investments skyrocketing or crashing because of a single headline that you missed. Sounds crazy, right? Well, in today's wild crypto world, massive moves are happening right now that could change your portfolio forever. Whether you're holding XRP, Bitcoin, or diving into DeFi, the news we're unpacking today is your key to staying ahead. Here's the thing. People who win in crypto don't just follow trends, they understand them. And that's exactly what we're going to get into in today's video. But here's the problem. The crypto market is moving faster than ever and missing even one piece of the news, like a 4.1 billion XRP volume spike or a quantum threat to Bitcoin could leave you blindsided. The solution, stick with me for the next few minutes and we're going to break it all down for you in plain English so you can make the smarter moves. And trust me, you need to act fast. Markets don't wait, and neither should you. Plus, stick with me until the end. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into Altcoin Pro University, our crypto trading community, where we help beginners and experts take their portfolios to the next level. Plus, today we will be heading over to X to find out all of the breaking news that's happening in the crypto world today. Plus, we'll head over to Forex Factory and find out all of the red folder important news that you need to know this upcoming week. Plus, we'll be heading over to TradingView to check out XRP in the charts, looking for our next resistance and current support levels that are important. Plus, we'll be looking at the long-term and short-term momentum waves and so much more in today's video. And if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do for you here on this channel, make sure you subscribe today so you don't miss out on anything. Plus, if you're still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. First things first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. So currently we are at 3.27 trillion total market cap for the crypto markets.
We just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now.
Very light volume over the last 24 hours, only $80 billion worth of transactions. Fear and greed index sitting in that neutral zone at 50. Typical for the weekends to be real slow, but the new markets are opening for the week right now. Yesterday was a 52, last week was a 55. Altcoin season index stalling out yet again. We're at 25 out of 100. It is full on Bitcoin season again. That is due to Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise at 63.8%. We'll continue to monitor these Bitcoin ETFs for you. Last week was a great week. Inflows $1.3 billion. After 2 weeks to the downside, we recovered significantly. Look forward to seeing continuous inflows this upcoming week and price surging up towards that $115,000 marks, what we'll be looking for. Ethereum ETFs continued to have massive inflows as well. Last week was the first week of outflows of $2 million in the entire last 30 days. However, last week's total inflows was massive, $528 million to the upside. Will the Ethereum ETFs continue this massive momentum to the upside? We will continue to track it this week. Make sure you subscribe and stay with us. Looking at the top cryptos by total market cap, top 6, Bitcoin number 1 at 105,000, 2, Ethereum at 2,500, 3, Tether at $1, XRP number 4 coming in $2.16, BNB at number 5, $647, and 6, number Solana, $152. This week will be massive as far as news for the financial markets. Nothing to report on Monday, but coming out Tuesday, retail sales. That will give us the idea of how the economy is doing. Our companies continuing to sell, our consumers continuing to buy. But Wednesday is the real day. Unemployment claims, always a big important number for Bitcoin. But more important than that, the Fed funds rate currently at 4.5. Trump wants a 1 full point reduction down to 3.5. Jerome Powell has been stonewalling and not reducing rates. Let me know down in the comments, do you believe we will be getting a rate decrease? Yes or no? After all the numbers release, then we'll also have the FOMC press conference. So we'll look forward to Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday. Heading over to X to find out what's happening. Coinbase users have now borrowed $400 million in USDC at 5% rates in just a few months since launching. Now, this is really exciting because people right now are using their crypto that they own. So feedback has been strong with one recent story of someone who would have otherwise sold their Bitcoin to fund a home improvement project, but was able to borrow against it instead and stay invested while still getting the funds to use for the project. Now, what would you like to see next? Now, this is mixed bag of people out there think this is a good idea, because right now, if you want to on Coinbase, if you own some Bitcoin, you can get a loan against it at 5% rates. Okay, so you can get a loan against your Bitcoin, but if you default, obviously they're going to take your Bitcoin from you. A lot of people are worried due to the fact that right now people getting loans for cars, houses, and in credit cards are also all three of those all-time high rates of people not paying their bills. So they're behind on their mortgage, they're behind on their car payments, they're behind on their credit card payments. So if people are going to start borrowing against their crypto, they're going to get behind on that, and then they're going to lose their crypto. So it'll be very interesting to see how this long-term strategy plays out for people. Let me know down in the comment section, what do you feel about borrowing against your crypto? Now, many news platforms are starting to track this as well. ETF flows, a total of 12.7 thousand Bitcoin last week, and then a total of 192,000 were bought last week from June 9th to June 3rd. And the reason that I've been covering this for you guys for months is because this is a great leading indicator. When you're seeing a ton of volume flow into the ETFs, that means institutions are buying for their clients. Even though retail, like if you look at retail traders right now, getting involved in Bitcoin just a couple of weeks ago was at an all-time low. Some people are finally starting to consider it, but institutions are buying it for their institutional clients. Regular retail is not really there yet. But if you follow along with this and you see what institutions, big money is doing, you have an idea of what you should be doing as well. Now, not financial advice. Don't just buy or sell because the ETFs say to. Do your research. But this is a great research tool. Breaking: Pakistan's finance minister and state minister on crypto, Bilal, just talked about Michael Saylor and Bitcoin. Nation states are here.
Your time today. I'll stay in touch with Bilal. I would offer you just one final thought, which is it's a global economy. Pakistan has many brilliant people, and a lot of people do business with you. My company had less than $400 million to invest, but the markets gave me $40 billion because they trust us. And so the most important thing is leadership, intellectual leadership, and that they trust you. If the world trusts you, and they hear your words and you speak articulately, the capital and the capability will flow to Pakistan. It's there. It wants to find a home. And that's what happened with our company. Our success is because we were clear and committed. And once the market decides who the leader is, they get behind the leader and they send their money to you. And I think they'll do it to Pakistan too. You have the most important thing, which is you have a commitment and a will and clarity here. So I look forward to working with you.
So as many of you guys continue to stack Satoshis and stack Bitcoin, this is really positive news. You've got corporations that have now started treasuries. You've also got countries like America that is doing a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And then you also have the biggest cheerleader in the world, Michael Saylor, for Bitcoin, going around the world trying to get every other country on board as well. Now, when it comes to XRP, we're also seeing countries and companies get involved with XRP as well. And this is a very, very good sign right here. A massive spike on the XRP ledger. Payment volume just exploded by 1,300% in the last 24 hours. It went from 295 million XRP to an eye-popping 4.11 billion XRP in a single day. This is suggesting potential institutional adoption of cross-border payment spikes, possibly linked to Ripple's recent partnership with banks like HSBC and Santander. Despite the volume increase, XRP's price remained flat at 215 to 229, as noted in replies of web data, challenging the typical correlation between transaction volume and prices, with a study from the Journal of Financial Economics 2023 indicating that high on-chain activity doesn't always drive short-term price gains in utility-focused cryptocurrencies. So great news for XRP. Will this translate into long-term price volume spikeage? We will continue to monitor that. We'll be checking those in the charts here shortly. And an emergency report coming out about quantum computing could break Bitcoin soon. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this, it was whispers here and there, but now it is starting to, where there's smoke, there's fire situation. Experts, including a Google quantum researcher, says quantum tech could crack Bitcoin's cryptography as early as 2030 unless upgrades are made. Even BlackRock cited the risk in its latest Bitcoin ETF filing. Now, what is interesting is they are talking about potential upgrades coming to Bitcoin, so we'll have to continue to stay tuned on that as well. And more great news for stablecoins. The Circle co-founder coming out and talking about stablecoins, saying stablecoins are the highest utility form of money ever created. We're not yet at the iPhone moment, but it's coming. And this does make sense because when you think about stable coins, your dollar is always equal to a dollar. Your however many pesos to buy a certain amount of stable coin will always be there. That's the new currency is going to be digital currency on stable coins, whether it's a CBDC in certain countries or an open source stable coin like RLUSD or Tether or USDC. But it is exciting to see this going on chain. And some interesting news that came out today as well, XRP integration is coming to Cardano. Charles Hoskinson hints at full XRP integration into Cardano, plus RLUSD, DeFi futures, Lace wallet support, and Glacier drops. And for all of you out there that have ever been attempted to be scammed, this is probably one of the largest scam situations that does go on in crypto. It is called social engineering, whether they become your best friend and say they don't have a lot of money, or they become your girlfriend and try to take all of your money. A YouTuber infiltrated an $800,000 crypto scam hub in the Philippines, exposing how fake exchanges lure victims. The operation is linked to a romance scam across Asia. So they're out there. These Asian ladies come into your DMs and say hi to you, which you're probably getting 5 or 10 of those if you're a man a day anyway. And somebody out there got lonely and started talking to these people, and multiple people have been scammed for over $800,000. So be careful out there in those DMs, ladies and gentlemen. If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And a big bullish announcement, head of Base Chain, Jesse Pollack, looks forward to Coinbase listing all Base assets via decentralized exchange. He says every Base builder deserves distribution. And in a positive news for the new crypto regime that is coming into office in the United States, SEC appoints former blockchain.com executive Jamie Selway as Director of Trading and Markets. Very bullish for crypto moving forward. And in big news for Trump, the SEC has officially approved Trump Media's deal to acquire $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. All right, so let's jump into the charts for XRP. We're here on the daily charts, as we can see, currently trading at $2.16. Now, as we have take a look here at our long-term momentum, we are still under the zero line on our Wolfpack indicator, trading in the red, as you can see right here. So that is indicating we are more bearish sentiment in the markets for XRP. Down below, we do have our red and green indicator here. That is our short-term momentum. It is sloping to the downside. And we also have our midterm momentum indicator, the white one, that is also sloping to the downside. So right now, we are getting to a point where we do need to see some serious volume coming back into XRP. As we can see, last time this had a little check down and then it made it rise to the top. On the daily, there is no indicator of bullishness other than waiting for volume to come in. We do have to get back above the 10 exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at $2.20. When we take a look at our 3-day charts here, also bearish to the downside. Now, the positive news here, our short-term and long-term momentum waves have reset to the bottom. So we could see a nice surge to the upside in the short term for 3-day candlesticks. The new 3-day candlestick starts in 2 days. And checking in on our weekly supports here, our weekly candles. Weekly candle comes to an end in 53 minutes. As you can see, our short-term and mid-term momentums are flat, unfortunately, laying to the bottom. Our long-term momentum is still showing bullish signs above the zero line, but we are still continuing to slope to the downside. Now, one thing to keep in mind, we are at a very important point. We do have 1 hour left, like I was talking about, and we need to stay above this level right here. Let me get the magnet out. This right here. So if we can stay a closed body above this right here, then we will not be breaking that weekly candle, which is very positive for us. If we can stay there, build that momentum back to the upside. When we start to make this push to the upside, we are then going to need to break through this candle right here. We've been talking about this one for weeks now. We got real close to breaking through it a couple weeks ago, the week of May 12th, unfortunately failing to do so. At the end of the week, we had a severe push to the downside, but that's $2.43. That was one of our lower highs here, and we were going to break that, creating a new market structure, but unfortunately that did not happen on the weekly candles. And then to the downside, we also have these candles right here, which is our current $1.90 level that we have to maintain as a support. Otherwise, this candle right here would be considered the newest lower high, and then that would potentially be leading us to a lower low in the charts. So based on what's going on around the world with Iran, Israel, Russia, Ukraine, United States versus United States, we have no positive fundamental news that would change the sentiment in the markets right now. People are risk off, unfortunately. If you take a look at the dollar has been crashing. Typically, when the dollar crashes, Bitcoin will race to the upside. But unfortunately, right now, that is not happening. We can see we do have a support for the Dixie or the dollar at 96.75 on the 3-day 1100 exponential moving average. Now, what's good news is short-term wise, our momentum indicator on the 3-day has gotten to the peak level of 100. But as you can see, we're riding very bearish down here. So ever since we crossed this level right here, we've been riding bearish. So full bearish momentum for the dollar at the moment, which translates to very bullish news for gold. So as we can see on the 3-day charts, gold has just been on an absolute moonshot ever since it had this little dip below the zero line, breaking above it. October 23rd, price has continued to skyrocket to the upside. So October 23rd, 2023 even, gold was $1,940 and has literally been riding to the top ever since. On the 3-day charts, gold is starting to make a turn to the upside here on our short-term momentum, and mid-term momentum was already heading to the upside. Long-term momentum's been rallying. Daily chart, everything is sloping to the upside for gold. Now, here's what's really crazy, all right? So weekly, mid-term momentum, the white line, has gotten to the top. We just had a reset on gold. Short-term momentum on the weekly to the downside. That means that this thing could, look at last time this happened, ladies and gentlemen. So last time we had the white line high and then the blue-green line reset to zero. Once it started making its move to the upside, it went from 23.97 before it turned red again, all the way up to 27.19. And right now it's showing even more strength because we know that the dollar is doing horrible and there's crazy war going on. So on the weekly charts, look for a massive push to the upside for gold. Now, it has not officially started its momentum. If you're trying to front run this, be very careful. These charts have just opened. The weekly charts do open for futures at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So as you can see, the daily gold chart is already on its move to the upside today. It's already up $14 on the day. The new all-time high for gold is sitting right here at 3,520 cents. Taking a look here at the charts for Bitcoin, we can see our short-term and momentum for midterm has started to make that climb to the upside. Ran into a resistance up here at its new all-time high. The one thing I do not like right now is, as you can see, price made a new higher high, but our stochastic Wolfpack has made a lower high, indicating a bearish divergence here. So let's take a look at some levels on Bitcoin we need to watch for. It's going to be this weekly high candle, which we finally broke this one back on the week of May 12th, made a push up. We have not come back on a body candle. We've wicked through this level several times. We haven't body candled, tested that. Don't need to body candle test that. But what we do need to do is not break below that level. If we break below there, there's a massive fair value gap that gets us back down to $98,000. And then there's even a deeper, harsher one down here, gets us to $86,000. So on the weekly charts here, we got some massive fair value gaps to be very wary of. But we'll talk more about those in the future as that comes. Right now on the daily charts are still showing above the zero line. So we're bullish here, but they are starting to weaken for sure on the Bitcoin charts. As we take a look at Ethereum, it was really starting to make that breakout. And then literally the next day, Israel bombed Iran. So we have this price sell off. So once this craziness settles down, then we can really start to see the surge. I still feel very bullish on Ethereum right now. It's got an incredible support for the daily 1100 exponential moving average here at 2397. It's retested it multiple times, didn't break it, could push to the upside. Now we do have a pattern here, the bull flag pattern that is playing out. So when you take this breakout to the upside, and this level right here is the actual flag. This is the flagpole. When you connect that flagpole to the breakout, it was headed to $3,600. Unfortunately, the war started. So we have to wait for that to happen. So we're waiting for the next breakout level. As you can see, this box that is an important box for Ethereum still holding strong as well, as long as we don't break below 2504. And if we do, then we have a secondary support here at 2395. If we lose that, then we could be in for a severe drop back down to the 1800 level.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers,